Evening. Hi. 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 How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? And this November, it's November now, isn't it? It's November. Oh God, Christmas parties are starting. Salons will be getting busy. Everybody will be getting busy. So we just give it a chance for people to come on. And once you come on, let me know that you can see me and that you can hear me and that everything is A-OK. Hi, how's it going? Just come on and make sure that everything's A-OK. Hi, Gonzinda. How are you, sir? How's it going? Give us a wave there. Give us a like if you can hear me. Michelle, how are you? Tags you today, I think. How's it going? How are we keeping? How are we? Sunday. Another Sunday. Oh, God. Another Sunday. It was a long week. I slept. Yeah. Can you hear me okay, Briley? How's it going? Yes. How's it going, Briley? I actually love your name, Briley. It's a lovely name. I would have thought of that for one of my kids, actually, but I went for the whole Irish theme, because my wife's Asian and I'm Irish, and we just fell in love with Irish names. You made it live. Hard to believe you made it live, but you did, But looking back, can you hear me okay? Yeah? Looking back, give me the likes and the loves there if you can hear me okay. Hiya, Billy. How's it going? Another win yesterday. We're doing okay. Hi, Angela. How are you? How's it going? Another win yesterday, yeah, Billy, I have to say. We're doing okay. Great, yeah. Likes and loves. Hiya, Trace. How's it going? Won't be long now. Hiya, Terry. How are you? Won't be long till I'm in Lanzarote now. I've a good few weeks ahead of me, though, Just get so busy. Yes, great. Likes and loves. Eat Moses. Moses. I actually like that. You think, yeah, I quite could see myself as Moses, yes. Because hi, Elisa, how are you? I just liked your shop for you. Jane, how's it going? How are you doing? How's your new group going? Yeah, babes. Yeah, we're looking forward to being in breezy Tennessee. I think it's called Tennessee, is it? I'm not quite sure, but the price was right, and we'll be there. And if I have to put a windbreaker up, I will. It won't bother me. Hiya, Michael. How's it going? Hiya, Paula. How are you? How's everybody getting on? I think an awful lot of people will be travelling now today in the UK because the BHAs are on a Monday night now. I don't know if any of you have any experience of the British Hairdressing Awards, but they... Hiya, Kate. How's it going? Great to see you. Breezy Keneasy. Yeah, I'm going to bring in a windbreaker. Do you remember the windbreakers, Tracy? I remember you'd have them back in the day. Going really well. Great, Jane. Good to hear it. You remember the windbreakers back in the day? You'd be down on the beach with your mum and dad and it'd be a force 9 gale going on, it'd be wind. And they'd put up the windbreaker. Do you remember they put up the windbreaker, around it? And you have the wind would nearly be blowing it over. But that's living in Ireland, isn't it? And you get in under the windbreaker and your ma be lying there saying, I'll get a bit of sun, And if you stood up, you'd actually die of pneumonia, being on a beach and doing it. So I can handle a bit of wind, It takes very little less of that. Once though. Costa-Tennessee is a windy city, but once though. Sold everywhere here. Listen, I have no skin left in my legs. Yes, that's exactly it. Hiya, Karen. How are you? How's it going, girl? I always try to break into a Cork accent when I see you. What about you? I don't get that with Tracy for some reason. I think she's maybe it's because she's living in Spain, but because you're right in what's considered the capital of Ireland, Cork, I'm always like, what about you? What about you? Hey, Blow from Poland. Yeah, I listen. Yeah, Irish beaches in the summer. What about you? How are you? Now, I'm sure a lot of the English are actually our wonderful British members are all travelling to London. A lot of them who are lucky enough to have a ticket for the BHAs. It's the British Hairdressing Awards. It's an incredible event, and it's probably like the most prestigious hair competition that you can win. The North American Hairdresser Awards are pretty prestigious, and International Trend Vision would have been right up there, and but the British Hairdressing Awards, okay, Southsiders posh, Nordy accent is easier. Yeah, I get you. Hiya, Michael, the Melt Master. How are you, sir? How are you keeping? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Lots of Los Angeles. Yeah. See, Trace, you have a different type of You know, a different type. But still, when the two of you get talking, I can nearly hear the Cork dialect coming out. But yeah, the BHAs are on, and there's lots of people off the page. Colin McAndrew and Robert Eaton's. A lot of people up. I mean, Robert's up for British Hairdresser. I think it's his first year being nominated. He's one British colourist. He's one British technician. But to be nominated in that'd be it. Yeah, to be. You two crack me up, Marta. There you are. We're gonna do face shapes tonight because of you, babes. I was all week going right face shapes, and I didn't have a sec to do any prep because I was so goddamn busy. I'm getting so old. I'm getting so tired. But it all came together this morning ish. Well, we'll find out now, won't we? We'll find out in a few minutes. But I'd like to wish everybody who's nominated. I mean, it's incredible. Yeah, I'm originally from the south side of Dublin, from a very posh area of Dublin called Dundrum, you know? For Andrew from the Manor. Yes, I'm originally from Dundrum, which was considered posh, but it wasn't posh when I lived there. It got posh because they built this big posh shopping centre, and then they built a train. So, you know, you build a shopping centre and you build a train, then they built all apartments around the train, and the prices went through the roof, and it became this very posh part of Dublin to live in, called Dundrum. But when I grew up, I mean, you had to take your life in your hands walking on the streets. It wasn't safe at all. I don't know, it was a mental area. So, you know, you see all that. It was the Lewis, the Daniel Day-Lewis, we call it, Michael. The Dart goes out of Dundee, but the Lewis comes out of Dundrum. And when they built that, then I go back to Dundrum. I don't recognise it. It's a completely different area, you know. And at one stage, myself and my wife we're thinking of moving back there, but we went back and we had a breakfast one Sunday morning in Dundrum Village, as I grew up in, and as I knew it, and we could well afford to move back at the time, and I just didn't feel like the Dundrum I grew up in. So I was like, "Oh, you're awake, Lucy. Well done." And so we didn't move back, and then I lived in a place called Rathmines for maybe 8 to 10 years, which was my favourite place I think I've lived in the world. And I've lived in the Cayman Islands, I've lived everywhere, but I think Rathmines was right up there. And we went back to look at that, and again the area had changed, and it turned into this sort of really posh suburb of Dublin, where when I used to go there, it was all the country people who moved to Dublin to get a job or to do a trade. They moved to Rathmines, and all the cool Dublin people who wanted to get away from their man and dad and wanted to live on their own and get girlfriends and go out partying and have the crack, they moved to Rathmines. So you had these sort of young, sort of wild young Dubliners who, even though their man and dad lived 10 minutes down the road, they wanted to live in Rathmines on their own so they could get a girlfriend and have a party. And you had all the country people, so you can imagine what the pubs were like. You know, they were bananas. Howdy Sarah, how's it going? Thanks for coming on live. It was I don't know how I started talking about that, but there you go. That was the Cork thing. It got me all off on a tangent, which isn't hard. As any of you know me, I'm never one stuck for a few words, you know. But I'd like to wish everybody in the BHAs and to Colin and Robert and everybody who's nominated for the awards. There's a lot of awards tomorrow night. The best of luck. I wish I was there. It's an incredible night in the Grosvenor. It's probably it's just a incredible night. Hiya Pauline, how's it going? We all talk among ourselves, Pauline, here, so don't be afraid to ask other people questions and ask anybody something here, because everybody talks as if we're all at the fireplace together. Hiya Susan, you made it. Hey Heather, how are you, babes? I hope you're well. I hope you've had a good week. Great week in the page, lots of really good pictures and lots of really good new members who are just joining and getting stuck in straight away and posting pictures, and yeah, fantastic, like just fantastic. Lots of new members knocking it out, which is brilliant. Don't be afraid to ask any questions you want. Hiya Karen, how's it going? But to be up there now for Robert, myself in particular, because myself and Robert have worked on lots of shows and lots of shoots. I'm great, Aisling. How are you? Great. Thanks for coming on. We've worked many a Sunday morning on shoots with very little budgets, and we've had to make things work. And to see Robert, who's come so far, and to be such a part of a hairdressing family, the Eaton family, and to know how proud his dad would be, and Isabel, and how all the team. Hey Sue, great to see you on. Susan is a fabulous lady who works in Geneva and works on the events in and brought us Destination. So all the fantastic shows you got from Destination, and you got to see Robert Eaton, and you got to see all those people. That was courtesy of Susan. So you have Susan to thank for there. Isabel, as I was saying, best of luck tomorrow. And I have to say, you've been on my mind today, your dad and your family. And I just, I don't know, you're authentic people and an authentic hairdressing team. And I wish you the best of luck to be just named in with some of those names tomorrow night. For me would be an incredible achievement, and I always said it's a shame they didn't open up an Irish version of the BHAs, as a part of the BHAs, like they've started with Creative Head, so the best of luck tomorrow evening, and either way, to be nominated in the top 5-6 hairdressers in the country is just and to win Colour Technician already is a huge achievement, and hats off to Robert. He comes on the page all the time. He's a pleasure to work with, and I'm sure me and him will have some fun. I never got a notification, and I've turned it on. How did you not get a notification, Alison? I mean, I don't know. You must have your phone set on Auntie Andrew, because it comes up live. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, babes. I'm so glad you're here, Alison. I sent off an email, so I hope your product situation improves there. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. So again, best of luck to everybody in the BHAs tomorrow night. And today I'm just going to give you my interpretation of how I colour hair based around face shapes. This is not to say that it's the holy Bible in colouring hair, and there's so many different roads to get to different directions, and so many people have so many different approaches visually, that it is a really good thing to just for me to give my tuppence worth of how I tend to approach colour, and I'm really busy, and how I like the salon to approach colour, and how I kind of see colour with face shapes, and what I think works and what I don't think works. But again, this isn't the law that it has to be. It's not the Andrew 10 Commandments, okay? It's not. It kind of can be when I'm in my salon, because I want things to be a certain way. But I've judged so many hair competitions, and I've known over the years that when I stood there and went, I really don't like that type of approach, and then I walk out on the floor and somebody does it so brilliantly, I'm standing there going, I absolutely love that approach, so you'll always hiya Robert, I just gave a big shout out for you tomorrow evening. I hope we're all pulling for you here on the page. We all love you, and just to be named tomorrow night in with all those people that are nominated will be an incredible achievement alone. So try to sleep tonight if you can, but just to be in with the greats. Some of them have come on here live some of them have come on live when I've done a few lives, and I nearly fell over when they've come on, but and I've just sort of waved at them and stuff like that. So I've just waved at them from being live, and Rob, your name will be called out tomorrow evening with them, and I can't think of a nicer family or people who deserve it more than the Eatons, Isabel and your dad and yourself and all the team and everybody in the Robert Eaton salons. 10 years going in Leeds. Congratulations. I think yous are amazing. And best of Wella love to all of you, and to Colin McHenry, and to all the Wella accounts that are, all the Wella accounts. I wish I was there tomorrow evening with you, Sue. We would be backstage, you and me would be doing the Ant and Deck. I'm watching that, and there's my main man Colin, who's being nominated tomorrow evening, is coming on. Colin's one of the most amazing hair cutters and one of the nicest people I've ever met, and I love his collection this year, and I really, really, really pulling for you, Colin. I hope you win it this year, but if you don't, just being nominated is an incredible achievement. And for me, you're a hero already, and for loads of people on the page. And Medusa is a fantastic group, and you're an absolute credit to the hairdressing industry as well. So, got that one out. I'm so glad that the two of you came on live, that I could wait, because you've been on my mind all day. Today, the whole lot of yous, and the best of Wella love and Wella luck to everybody who's competing tomorrow night. And maybe next year me and Sue will be at the Grosvenor, and we'll be able to go backstage, and we'll be able to go live for yous and stuff like that, even though I don't know, the BHAs would be happy with that, but there you go. You never know. You never know. So, Richard, how's it going? Can't wait for tomorrow. Good luck to everybody. Yeah, especially from our Wella family. Yes, of course. Best of luck to everyone, because we're all hairdressers. We're all in this together, and we're the hair community first and foremost. And then secondly, we are the Wella family, and the Wella family is an open family, and we've got room for everybody, you know, so they're always welcome here, and we respect everyone, and everyone respects us, and we like to keep it classy. You know that about me, guys, and you know that about the page. So, on to face shapes. This is just these are just a few little things and a few little ideas of approaches that I take with face shapes, and things to watch out for, and pitfalls and things that can go wrong that might help you behind the chair, and that you might, hiya Shauna, how's it going? They might help you behind the chair. They certainly help me, and you might see why certain things have been so successful, because sometimes we just look at heads of hair and we don't know why we like them. You know, we're not able to really break down why we like them, or why the public likes them, or why the consumer likes them. So I'm going to use a few celebrity faces first off, and we'll look at some celebrity faces and try and break them down a little bit and see why they're so popular. And hiya Jackson, how's it going? Hiya Kevin, hiya Sarah. We'll try and take a few celebrity faces. Hey Sarah, how are you babes? Emma. We'll take a few celebrity faces, because the clients love the celebrity. High foreheads we will be doing, Martha, don't you worry about that. High foreheads is... Yes, actually, high foreheads comes right. We'll probably nearly jump right in on that. High foreheads. High foreheads is always a tough one, you know, because yes. Well, so maybe we'll start with high foreheads. Okay, here. I had to put some pictures on an iPad, you know, because I was going to print them, and then San, who's in my job, said, they look rubbish printed, Andrew, just stick them on an iPad. And I went, okay. I said, okay, San, you're the boss. So some of the pictures are not the best. So this is one. I love you too, Marta, and this is all for you, babes. This is all for you. And then I've got some really good stories as well. So this is when Giselle started, okay? When Giselle actually started, and before she sort of had her 12-week blow dry and she smoothed out her hair, you can see that she has quite a long face, okay? So this is just really at the beginning of her career, okay? And you can see that there's different vocal points. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Okay, there we go. So you have different vocal points in the face, you know? You've got see, she's got quite a big forehead, and then you've got her eyebrow, then you've got the eye, then you've got, did you like that, Jay? That was the Wella order that you just saw there. That was my Wella order. And if you noticed, it was well over €1,000. You know what I mean? So that goes out to Damien out there. The orders now, it was well over €1,000 for the first week in November. So you're making a few quid off me, Damien. So you can see the face shape, that there's the forehead, the eyebrow, the eye, the cheekbone, the nose, the top lip, the bottom lip, and the chin. And then it's on out in through her neck and into her chest, you know? Hiya, John, how's it going? We love Andrew Dunnett Down Street. When I get, when you send me your hat, when the hat arrives, Kevin, I will wear your hat on, I will wear the hat on Sunday service for at least 5 to 10 minutes, and I will talk about your salon and each one of your staff. So get ready. When that arrives in the post, we'll have a Down Street tribute, okay? Guaranteed, Kevin. So, yeah, that'll be one to film. That'll be one to keep. So this is when she just started. So you can see that the vocal points that they used were because her face is so long, that they started... Basically, they just aimed for her cheekbone. So these things can look like they're terribly random, you know? Hold the top forward a bit. Your light is glaring. How's that? Is that better? Hold the top forward a bit. That better? I have other pictures anyway. Yeah? So you can see here that the vocal point that they started with, which was most likely a balayage technique or a back comb balayage, ships tomorrow. Yeah, that'll be a good night, Kev. That'll be a good night. So you can see that they've chosen that the vocal point here was either, you know, around her cheekbone, You're more than welcome, Britain. You're more than welcome. Around her cheekbone, and then they're working down. So I mean, just for your if you're just for your basic, for your basic stuff that you weren't quite sure of, anything above here can really change the way somebody looks, because your eye is going to go to that area there. So if that becomes the focal point, then her forehead will become the focal point. Do you understand what I'm saying? And because they didn't want to bring her focal point into play, they go below that. So really, if you were to just take it in basic terms with this type of face shape, anything below her bottom lip, you could go as bright as you want, and it wouldn't affect how she looks. It wouldn't affect her face shape, because you'd be basically aiming it from here downwards. So if you were to explain that to a client, the client will get that really quite quickly, a client will get that really quite quickly. So she can go kind of as bright as she wants, say below her cheekbone on a certain face shape. Hi Maylu, how's it going? Great to see you. Thanks for that little bit of info. The new Wella education looks very exciting, guys, I have to say. We're going to get Maylu is going to give us the inside scoop. It looks very exciting. I really like the look of it. Some of the vids we put up during the week. So yes, Maylu, we'll be looking forward to that. So as you can see here, if you were to put the highlight above here, it would bring her forehead into play. Okay, so whether this was just look or whether this was just design, this was just at the start of her career. Basically, the highlights all start at her cheekbone and then get brighter as they go down, and it doesn't affect how she looks in any way, shape or form. Yeah, okay, that was kind of right at the beginning of her career. So then as she got further on, the highlights became much stronger, and then they went slightly higher. They went slightly higher with it, but you can still see that there's nothing from here to here is still kept really natural. Okay, see the way we've only just begun now, Martha. There's a good lot to go in this, you know what I mean? I'd get a cup of tea, bring over a duvet. This could go on for a while. So as you can see, because they don't want to bring her forehead into play, the person here has chosen her eyebrow as the focal point of where the highlights start. And the brightest areas, which an awful lot of this is probably pieces, but it's bringing you down to her back and to her chest and to her body, because her body is really famous. So you can see the way you follow it all the way down. And the brightest areas start around her cheekbone and work their way down. But the focal point here is the eyebrow. So there's nothing above the eyebrow. Hiya Frank, how's it going? Hope you're well. Yeah, get a gin and a blanket, Liz. That's a good idea. Get a gin. I like the sound of that, Liz. I like the sound of that, gin and a blanket. I loved that one on science last night that you said to me. I nearly collapsed laughing. I nearly collapsed laughing. I am going to design a mug. I'm going to design a Wella mug. So, we'll put something really funny on it, So as you can see there, that they've chose the focal point very clearly to be her eyebrow. Now you can see how strong and prominent her forehead is, and you can see how you don't really look at her forehead at all because of the highlight shapes worked all the way down. Yeah? Now another thing, so many clients are always saying, well, I want to have so many highlights around the front of their face and stuff like this. Now, I'm one of those people that I quite like a darker halo around the face because I think it brings out the cheekbone, But I'm, as Tracy Cunningham once said, I'm a man, and men think very differently than women, and she's 100% probably right, you know what I mean? But if you were to see Giselle's hair, because you have clients who come in to you and they say, oh yeah, again, you can see where the focal point is here is the eyebrow, and again, where the brightest parts are all the way around her face. So people always think, and there it is tied back. So you see there's no highlights. There's no highlights, and yeah, there's no face frame. There's no money piece there, but there's a money piece as it goes along, Britain, but it's a lot smaller for hers because you don't want to bring her forehead into play. Hiya, Sophie. But when clients say to you, I want a balayage, but then I want to close to my roots and I want to see highlights when I tie it back, just take out a picture and show them and go. There we go again with the order. Just take out a picture and show them Giselle with her hair tied back. That's Giselle with her hair tied back. There's no highlights, okay? She keeps it dark, as most Hollywood starlets with their hair tied back. You know, so you just sort of say to them that the look is all the way around the face, but it's around the hair here of the face. You know, so a lot of people think when they say they want hair around the face, they think it's here. You know, but if you put lots of blonde here, you'll take the cheekbone out of play a lot of the time. And then they're like all face. You know what I mean? And then the only time it looks okay is when they tie it back. And it doesn't even look okay then. You know what I mean? So, you know, it can depend, you know. You can see how dark she is naturally. But then when you see it down, you see how amazing it's done and how the focal point here starts at the eyebrow and works its way down. And that the brightest sections are all here. And these are the brightest sections that are absolutely highlighting her face. You know, they're not inside, they're not internal. They're all on the outside of her hair. So these are the areas that will highlight somebody's face, not the hair in here, you know. And if you tie it back, dare I say, I'm not mad about those money pieces on my own here. I like a money piece on the right client, Alison. If they have a big forehead and it's a huge money piece, I don't like it at all. It can really ruin their face shape. So I'm so with you there, Alison. I'm so with you. Visually, they don't do it for me all the time. But as you can see, I do quite a lot of them. But they have to be on a small forehead. I won't lie to you. That's the way I see it. So you can see very clearly that the focal points for Giselle is like eyebrow, cheekbone, and then it's all about the face shape and the lips, and it's about her body, it's about her neck, it's about her chest, Ant and Dec. Yeah, you know, it's about all that type of thing. And that's her with her hair tied back. You know, if they say, well, can I just have a couple of highlights around the front just to break it? No, you can't. It's not the look. Do you know what I mean? It's not the look. When you tie it down, it just ruins the look. So these are conversations you kind of have to have with clients, you know what I mean? Because they don't understand. But once you explain it to them, once you explain to a client, if you explain to a client that you can go as bright as you want here and it won't affect how you look. But if you go too bright up here, it'll bring your forehead into play. A client will get that very, very quickly. But for us hairdressers who've been highlighting to the roots, it's not cute when it's tied up. You have to do a certain... Alison, that's a brilliant question, I have to say. If you do a certain shape face frame, you know, and you pivot it in and you curve it and then you do a bit below it, when you tie it back, it sits kind of like a ribbon. And it works quite well. I'll show this. This is great. This is good. It's helping. Okay. On to the next lady. Giselle. Mad about me. Giselle. She's always been mad about me. From the day she started in her career, she's been mad about me. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so another one that they always ask for. And I was trying to find a picture of Giselle with her highlights up to her root because she's had a few of them. And I couldn't. Sorry guys, I'm a fan. I like them. I love them, Jane, just on the right person. Too low down, very, very true, Sophie. They can look like they have a long face. So then another one that the clients always ask for, and this is a perfect face frame, is Jennifer, you know. So there's Jennifer with a perfect, you know, sliced face frame through the front. And you can see she's always had this face frame. It must be her singing that got her hooked. She's mad about me, Liz. Mad about me, writing to me and everything. It's embarrassing. Here's Jennifer. So lots of clients get it. But you can see the way a classic face frame doesn't have to be a big, huge money piece. You know, that really a money piece and a face frame are two very different things. You know what I mean? Give us an old videos on money piece. Yeah, I will. I'll give you how I do them anyway, how I swing in and sort of do a little curve. It's like a little dance, you know what I mean? You know, so if you see here's a classic face frame and a lot of clients would like, but you can see that she has a very small forehead, and that if you didn't do a face frame here, it would make her forehead look too small. So if you went dark down to here on this beautiful lady who's actually fantastic in the morning show, I have to say, it's really good. If none of you have checked it out, it's a really good show. If you started here like you did with Giselle, you would close her face up because she's got quite a small face. She's got quite a wide cheekbone. She's like slightly triangular, you know. I can only imagine the money dance, you know. So you can see how important her face frame is, and that all through her career she's gone lighter, she's gone darker, she's gone richer, she's gone warmer. She's always kept her face frame. It's not a money piece, it's a face frame. I think face frames work on nearly every, like most people, you know. Again, she goes a bit darker here, she's darker on the top, but she's kept her face frame, and she's cut her front section up to just on her chin, which I actually didn't particularly like, because I thought it framed the wrong side of her face personally. You know, so it depends. I mean, Jennifer Lopez, hombre, I looked her up to use her, and her hairdresser is one of my favourite. Aubrey is one of my favourite hairdressers of all time. I can hardly say his name without welling up because he passed away last year. Hiya James, how's it going? And I got to meet him in Barcelona, and I got to talk to him. And he's Jesus, he was such a legend. But I was going to use J-Lo, but she's had so many hair colours. I mean, she's like dark, she's light, she's rich. She's had a money piece, she's gone gold, she's gone warm. She you know, she's got so much, you know, so... but as you can see, the face frame is still strong. It's because it's what she needs. And you can see this is the colour she is now, okay? This was taken just for the launch of her new show, The Morning Show. So you can see that the makeup, she's gone a little bit darker with her makeup, and she's gone a lot darker with her hair colour. And I think it's beautiful on her personally. But you can see that she's still got her face frame, which opens up her face, okay? It still opens up her face. So her technique is still based around soft face frame that opens up her face. And this is why so many people like her hair, because it works on her face shape. And she can go lighter, she can go darker, she can go warmer. And now, hi Anne-Marie, I hope we help today with some of those stuff, you know. Yeah, it does let you keep it without it looking like it's grown out. Exactly, Jane. A face frame is not a money piece, okay? A face frame is not a money piece. I think it's Lee, I'm not sure, a guy there the other week. Reese's hair here is not doing her any favours, okay? Reese's hair is not doing her any favours there at all. And I really like Reese. I think she's a brilliant girl. But her hair is not doing her any favours. So this is what happens when Jennifer decides to go for something and not listen to her hairdresser. So she decides, I want to go all over blonde, you know. She just makes her face frame and turns it into a money piece through the front. So now she actually has a money piece, and she's changed her parting, and she's gone for all over highlights. Now you can see how pink she looks. You see how pink her skin looks. This is a few years ago. But this just didn't... she just started to look like everybody else when she had this. She didn't look like Jennifer, and she got rid of it really quite quickly because it blanded her out, and in many ways she had a touch of the Cameron Diaz's offer. It started to make her look very cheekbony and very pink. But as you can see how important technique is, that without the face frame here, without it working on our face, it's just not as nice. So when clients come in and say, I'd like to go blonde all over and stuff like that, if you explain to them how it will affect their face shape, and if you show them pictures like this, I mean, you can see it just isn't. It's just so different. So people are always thinking it's all about colour, and it's not. It's about technique, it's about colour, it's about face frame, it's about focal points, it's about bone structure. It's about skin tone, because you'll see an awful lot of girls here. I mean, the great thing about Jennifer is she's always kept her skin tone the same. You know, so when you're looking through her hair colours, she doesn't change her makeup very often. Where you have other girls who are absolutely brilliant at changing their hair colour, and they change their makeup, and they change their look. Because you can change your makeup. You know, the famous Kim Kardashian bleach up that time. And when she walked out of that French salon and her hair was like just bleached off her head. The guy who did her makeup went to 5,000 to 10,000 a day afterwards, because nobody even looked at her hair. Everybody looked at the makeup, because if the makeup artist could make her look so amazing, you know, with a hair colour that just didn't work on her at all, he was a genius. And I remember a friend ringing me the next day who ran a very big hair corporation, who will remain nameless, and he said to me, do you know who that makeup artist is? And I said, no, I've no idea, but I'll make a phone call. I rang a few people, and I got the name, and he became really famous because of that. So makeup is so important. Okay, and here's another one where she decided to go really blonde again, and get ready, guys, because this is hard to handle. We've all done this. We've all done this to clients, and then we've said to the clients, you know, be careful what you ask for because you can't get it. So this is one that she decided to go all out blonde. Now, this is what can happen. You know, if you go all out blonde, she's completely lost her face shape. Living in the sun. Yeah, unfortunately I've had to go. But there's nothing wrong with highlights to the root, Tracy. I love them as well, especially on an oval face. They look amazing. But look here. Look at how pink her skin looks. Look at how aged she looks. Look at like it's actually isn't it frightening? Now we've all done it. You know, I want to go blonde, or I want to go lighter. I want to go all over blonde. She probably took a picture out with Cameron Diaz. You know what I mean? It has a touch of the Cameron's office, but Cameron's got a wide mouth and very wide face. But like, look at the pink in the skin. Look at how pink she looks. I mean, and she's an attractive girl, you know. She's like an attractive woman. So this is what can happen when you lose your actual technique, which suits your face shape. So it shows you the importance of technique above. Oh, I know, but I hate it now. I love the depth around the hairline. Yeah, this is a really good one, Tracy. There's nearly a Sunday service in that. But let's go back to... So there you go. Yeah, you're feeling me. She's as pink as I am. You know what I mean? She's as pink as I am. It's hard to be as pink as me. You know what I mean? Because I'm proper pink. And then we'll go back to, thank God, because her hairdresser's an absolute genius. And then she's gone back to look. And people say you should go lighter when you get older. Have you ever heard such rubbish in all your life? Oh, you should go lighter when you go older. I get so many women in my chair with marmalade hair who are like a base 4 or a base 5 or a base 6, brown eyes, beautiful skin, and they look about 170. And they're sitting in my chair, like somebody said there, like Martha Stewart saying, you know, but I don't see the roots. I'm like, what? But you look like your ma. You know, have you got a picture of your ma? I bet you look older than your ma. You know? And they're like, yeah, but I don't see the roots. I was going, yeah, but your hair colour is disgraceful. Your hair colour is horrific. It's the colour of marmalade. And it makes you look like you have a satellite dish of a face. And you're all face and all hair. And I sometimes I'd even take a picture of them and go, have a look at that. And I go, you should be about a base 7. I say, you know, this going lighter when you get older. I mean, if only a hairdresser could have come up with that, because they just want to use bleach and not have to think about anything else. Hiya, Lee. It's the Dre way, Lee. It's the Dre way. I mean... There's a group of them. I used to go to Sunday Mass with my mum, God rest her soul, before she passed away down in Kilmuckridge. She moved to Wexford. And she'd sit up the front, you know, and she'd say to me, now, Andrew, don't be too... Because I'd give them a terrible time about the Catholic Church. And you can imagine what I was like, you know, to be Mass and all these people here. And listen, very funny. But we'd go out, and the local salon knew me really well, because I used to do the morning show with Shay Dempsey at the time. We used to do the morning makeovers on TV3, so we were really quiet. I wouldn't say celebrity hairdressers, but we were very well known. And so the lady came out, the ladies had come out. How you always say it as it is. Yes, Sue, that's it. You know, the L marmalade, the L rusty nail. You know that colour? You know that rusty colour? You know how few people can wear gold? You know how few people can wear gold, and how so many people have it? I've never understood it. I mean, a stroke 7 is a brunette, you know, beautiful. And so many of them have, like, you know, it's like, can I get a rusty nail, please? Really? I don't know. We're going to change that here. We're going to change that in the communities here. So... bit of a rant there, but anyway, her friends would come out at the Mass and they'd all be the same, you know. They were all very funny women, very funny. And my mum would say to me, now behave yourself. And they'd all say to me, hiya, Andrew. I'd be like, how's it going, Mary? How are you, Alice? How are you, Terry? How are you getting on? How's my mum? Is everything okay? Andrew, what would you do with my hair? What would you do? What if you had free reign? They always said free reign, which I was like, if I'd free reign, I'd shave it. If you free reign... There's a little bit of green in there as well, Liz. You're 100% right, because a lot of the trees have a little bit of green mixed in with them, just so that they're not too yellow. And then you get that slight khaki, you know, that little bit of chicken curry, you know, off them as well. Horrific. With a shade chart of maybe 75 to 120 colours. Why do people use ones that have no no colour. They don't have any pigment in them. I don't know, but you know what? With us here in this community, we're going to change that. Oh yeah, we're going to change that. We're going to change that. Okay. And I tell them all their hair colour was horrific. And I used to say to them all to go copper just to annoy them. I used to say go red. And my mum, do you know what my mum's colour was? My mum's colour was 960 in Illumina. Okay, no base. So you can imagine it had a mauve, pinky kind of hue off it. And then I had a big, bright piece down the front here. Now, I don't know. Thanks, Suzanne. I don't know if any of you know who Zsa Zsa Gabor is, you know. But her hair colour was based on Zsa Zsa. So it was quite a gamey hair colour. So her colour was kind of cool. And I had that big bright bit through the front. And it had nothing to do with face shape. But it had all to do with her personality. It suited my mum. She was a bit of, you know, she was just, it suited who she was as a person. So, I mean, her hair colour was like 960 with a bleach bit. And they'd all have like the you know, that, you know, marmalade or, you know, yeah, the chicken curry range or something, you know. Oh, I just say, listen, you need to go darker. But this whole going older, when you're older, it depends on your skin. I get clients in my seat who are 30 years of age who are partying every weekend, and I'm saying to them, you need to go lighter, you know, because you're out every weekend, you're wrecked. And I have clients who are in their 70s who take really good care of themselves and would probably have just a little bit of work done and they look fantastic, and I have to darken and give them a root shadow around the front so that you can see their cheekbone and their lips and stuff. I had a lady in her 70s the other day, and I toned her. She came in with a very, very light tint, you know. Now, she was beautiful. You want a date? Keep us posted there, Ollie, you know what I mean? Keep us posted. Yeah, hope it goes well, you know. Hope it goes well. Hope it progresses quickly, as they say, you know. I was always easy, Ollie, as you can imagine. So, here, let me find these pictures. So, luckily, as we said with Jennifer, she's gone back darker. She's gone back to her face frame, and she looks about 15 years younger. You know, she looks about 15 years younger. Ollie, you can come on every now and again and tell us how you're getting on. You know, you can come on so you can see how amazing she looks here. And I would highly recommend the morning show. I know it's another TV channel that somebody has to pay for. It's on Apple TV. But it's 5 episodes in, and it is a really good show. I would say a really good show. Okay, so that's the famous Jennifer. We'll have one more look at what can happen. This is what can happen, okay? Just in case you think, oh, she can wear any colour. She can't. Look at this is what can happen, okay? That's what can happen, okay? Even to the fantastic Jenny. I particularly like her hair when she's wearing it on the dusties. Now, you know, because we have such a love affair with the 9/7s. I saw this picture today, and I think it's only this year. But I mean, if you ever want to see what a 9/7 can look like through highlights like melted, look at how beautiful that is on her particular skin tone with the blue eyes. Look at that sort of dusty bronze, isn't it absolutely to die for? And if that's a tribute to the 9/7s out there, because they're a unique particular tone, and you can see how beautiful it is. And look at how her little face frame opens up her face. See how, now it's not a money piece. Money piece is very different, but you can see the face frame opens it all up. See, isn't it terrific? Isn't that just beautiful? Because it's all about the skin, it's all about the eyes, and it's all about the hair. So they've really designed that around her skin. And she never really changes her makeup. That's the great thing about using Jennifer. That's the juice. Yeah, I love that on her. I love that. Her eyes just pop, Britain. You're great. You're a newbie, I think, Britain. And great. Yeah, you're loving it. Don't forget to get the loves and the likes and the hearts there, because I get the elbow jangles, you know, the elbow jangles. Okay. So now I was just going through and looking at different. Is Jennifer a Wella girl? I don't know, but her hair color. I know who her hairdresser is. No, I've never met him. I know of him because he's quite infamous, but I don't think he does her color. I think her color guy is a slightly older gentleman, probably like myself. Probably not. who probably keeps it really cool, and I wouldn't say wants to be mentioned and charges her a lot of money, because you either sort of use somebody like that as a profile to create more work for yourself, or you just charge them a lot of money, and I think he just charges her a lot of money. You know what I mean? Okay, but it's back there brilliantly, but the difference between a face frame is Jennifer Aniston, and I don't know if we have a money piece going forward, but I'll show you a money piece. But they're just bigger and they're a different shape. Like a face frame will just open up a small forehead. So it isn't really the focal point, but it is the focal point in the sense that it just opens up their face shape. Where a face frame is a complete focal point. It's the first thing you see when you see somebody, you know. And Jennifer doesn't want she just wants to open up her forehead, but she doesn't want it to be a thing, you know. She just wants it all to be about her. Ollie's back. Ollie's back. Is she gone to the toilet, Ollie? Yeah. Okay, so these are, you know, when people go different colours, that I just showed different colours of what can happen when people sort of, how it can affect their face, how it can affect their colour. So I'm not sure of this lady's name, but there she is with the, right here. There she is with the dark eyes. Is that, wait, like, sort this out. Okay, let's go. Try that again. Okay. Yes, it's a bit better, isn't it? So you can see this girl who's gone from a sort of, she's got very, very dark eyes, and then she's gone for a full bleach up. Now, whoever did the colour did an incredible job, like an incredible job. Quick, easy puff, no pun intended. Okay. I'll say no more about that. I'm back. So you can see how it has completely taken her face out of the game. You know, you can just about see the darkness of her eyes, where in here you can see her cheekbones and her face frame and her bone structure. You can see her eyebrows, and then when she's blonde, you can see nothing. Okay, you can see absolutely, and you know what? It's not a great length either. I mean, the length isn't one thing or another. You know, it could do it being longer or shorter. You know what I mean? So you can see what can happen to a face if you go too light. And this is the whole, well, you need to go lighter when you're older. Not really. It depends on the skin tone, you know. Again, you see other people who've gone lighter. This is a good example of, see, somebody with fair skin. We had this come up on the page the other day. Somebody was talking about it's so hard to colour fair skin with blue eyes. They were asking me, they were like, it's so hard to colour it. And I was like, yeah. And I was saying the one thing you shouldn't do, so it's quite okay, bro. The one thing you shouldn't do is throw gold in, because look, this is Mrs. Foyle. She plays the Queen in the first series of the Crown. She's Catherine Foy, I think her name is. She's an incredible actress, absolutely incredible actress. But look at what golds can do and yellows can do to somebody's skin tone and somebody's face. Okay, he's decided to go lighter in the wrong way. And look at the effect it has on her face. And then look at her where she's darker, and you can see, look how you can see the blueness of her eyes, and that the brunette doesn't have too much richness or red in it, because she has, again, you can see how this has brought out all her pink skin tone, no matter, and she's really well made up there with her lippy and all that type of stuff, but it can't stop the hair colour from taking over. So as you can see, for a lot of, I spoke about, the marmalade hair colour again, as I spoke about last week, that I love a cold brunette on a blue-eyed girl. You know, you see a lot of Eastern European girls. Now, this is one of my favourite models. Again, this is another example of somebody who, again, you can see how brilliantly coloured her hair is, but what the effect it has on her face. You can see how beautiful she is here. You can see, look at how high her cheekbones are. You can see how long they are. You can see how elongated her face is, how beautiful her nose and her eyebrows. And then when she goes bleached, I mean, it's a beautiful job, and she's really, really, really made up for this. She's after getting a bit of a smoky eye done. Her makeup is terrific. Like, her makeup is amazing. Her eyebrow arch is perfection, but it still can't take away from the fact that it's just blended her right out, and she could be anybody and not the famous model that she is. Now, I much prefer her hair shorter. You know, I much prefer her hair in a very short sort of lob or a box bob. I think it's amazing on her face shape, personally, you know. But you can see how she just looks like everybody else, where here you can't stop looking at her. Look, you can't stop looking at her. Like, you just cannot stop looking at her. Isn't she just, she's to die for, you know. But I love her hair in a long bob, a lob. I just think it suits her face shape. When she did the Victoria's Secret show with short hair, I thought that was absolutely incredible, even though I believed there was murder when she turned up. So, okay. Okay, so another forehead then, because again, Marta has this is the Marta show. She asked all about foreheads and how to get it right and what to look for. Yeah, it's a complete, the hair becomes the focal point and it just takes from the whole person, Alison. I totally agree with you. So here we have Sarah Jessica Parker, who is another perfect example of somebody who has a very strong forehead, and if she goes too high, she does have a tendency to throw a face frame in there, and it can ruin her look, you know. It's quite okay normally, you can watch it back. It can ruin her look, but you can see it never should go above her eyebrow. Absolutely not, because you don't want this area in play. You want, for me now, this is just my opinion, okay? This is my opinion. This is the Marta show today. And last week, Marta, you know. So this is just my opinion, okay? This is not, this is not set in stone. This is not the 10 Commandments, okay? It's just how I see it. But again, even here, it's too high for me, you know? I think it would be better if it started here, and if it wasn't as bright here, and then if it got brighter when it hits the cheekbones, and then it was really bright around her mouth. Because for me, her focal point is the mouth, you know? That's for me. And her cheekbone, all this area here is the area I want to lighten up for me, you know? Her eyes are quite small, you know? Her eyes are quite small. So you can see here she has, again, her face frame is not all the way up, because I guarantee you the hairdresser doesn't want to do it that up, but it's still quite high. It's still like a slightly underneath face frame, and it just shadows all the way around her face, and it's beautifully done. Like, it's a really, really beautiful work. Like, it's absolutely beautifully done. But from a face point of view, it's bringing her nose into play for me. That's just a personal opinion, and I would prefer to see it start here and to get really, really brighter around here, where instead it's quite darker. These are probably all pieces anyway, and it is kind of a shoot and it's full from. But again, you can see that this is the area you need to be very careful of, and clients will get this. Clients understand this really quite. She has a face frame here. I tried to find one with a face frame here, but it's to the side. And you can be guaranteed that the photographer took it to the side, because straight on, it would have made her forehead look way too big. Way too much. So that's a face frame right there, through the front of her hair. And you can see it all the way around there. And it can really affect how your face. It can really affect how your face did. I think the signal went a bit there, so I don't know if we're okay. The underneath needs to be lightened completely, Alison. This is another thing that I think is so important. I think that all the areas around people's face, like, we'll just take a break here, is so important, okay? And I see so many girls who come in and they have like these half head of highlights. I mean, I don't get this at all. So they've got like 10 packets here and 5 packets here. And then they wear their hair down, and they have these highlights here, which takes from their cheekbone from here to here. It looks dreadful. And they have very little hair here, so it's all bleached here. You know, I'm back, am I? Good. Yeah, okay, yeah, the signal went there for a minute. But it was just, and I'll just go through it quick again. It was about her, where she actually had a face frame, and you could see that the photographer took it from the side because it was going to be all forehead. You know, so again, that was an issue. You can see there that your eye just goes straight to there, where you want your eye to go to here and to here and to here. So really, if your eyebrow, eyes, nose, cheekbone, lip, top lip, chin, neck, down into chest. You know, these are the areas. And for a lot of, you know, so I see this behind the chair a lot, you know, and we try to reverse this, and when we do, the clients never leave the salon, so it's something that you should look at. We tell them that they should have no highlights up here, and they should have very little highlights here, and they should have all their highlights which are around their face. So the hair from here, which is here and here, will open up their face. So these are the areas. This is why balayage took off, because it was about the faces. It wasn't anything more than the fact that you were painting somebody's hair perfectly, and it was showing off. You were automatically showing off their faces, you know. So you'll see it in Dublin an awful lot. These half heads, 10 packets here, 3 packets on either side. Most women have very little hair from their ear to here, and from here. So their most vulnerable parts of their hair is here over to here. They have very little hair here, and if they've had kids, or if they've had, if they've had issues, these are the one areas that you probably shouldn't be highlighting, because they're so fragile, and then they tie it back and it all breaks, so they've no hair here. They've very little hair through the front here. So we will try to talk them into having a more of a balayage feel, which is more of a shadow rouge with darker highlights, and lighten up their face, and explain to them it's about their cheekbone, it's about their lips, about their top lips, about their bottom lips, about their focal points, about their skin tone. It's about their eye colour, it's about wearing their hair down, and clients will get it. You know what I mean? Clients will get it. It's hard to convince, Marta, it is, but you won't convince everyone. But, you know, you can just give them a melt, say. You can just start them off by giving them a full head of highlights and giving them a slightly darker melt through the top. You know, and explain to them that they've very little hair here, so if they keep bleaching it and tying it back, they will have no hair there. You know, and then they'll be coming into you saying, can I get more highlights here? Can I get more highlights here? And they'll have no hair. They'll have no hair. And you know what happens is they always blame you. They always blame you. I went to that fella up the road, and look at my hair, I've no hair. I've no hair. They will blame you. They will always blame you, because you're the professional. They're just asking you. It's up to you to explain to them. But very little hair from here to here, so be very, very careful. What's the fade out coming back when they come back from that? Well, we do melts afterwards with the sprays and with the all that type of stuff, trace. So we tend not to do the melts very dark. You know, we don't do them like extreme dark. We tend to just do them at a level of their own basis. I'm sure going forward there will be classes and face frames and bone structure, but it's very difficult to teach this because it's different. It's different in every from anything I swing colour. It's very difficult to teach. You need to be really experienced. And this is just my opinion again. This isn't the Wella way of doing things. This is just how I see it. You know, so there'd be a lot of people out there who would disagree with me and who would see things slightly differently. But that's okay. We're all different. It's like chefs. We're all different, aren't we? Okay, so onto another of anything I swing colour using. I'm not sure, Trace. Maybe try and ask me again. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm getting that one. But just that's a huge issue in Dublin. I don't know about anywhere else. Is these half heads, and they've no hair here, they've no hair here, and then they're tying it back, and then they're saying to me it's very dark. It's very dark. Yeah, well, we'll be doing classes, Pauline. You'd be more than welcome to come. They're going to me, it's very dark here, and I'm going, that's because you've no hair. You know, because all the bleach you've done is all broken because you're tying it back, you know. If their hair, okay, Michelle, this is a great question. What if their hair is really short and they want highlights? They fade out from anything using colour. They fade out from... I think if you do your melts properly and you prepare them well, they fade out quite well. I mean, from my experience, they fade out quite well. And I do think... there's going to be much better products going forward for this type of thing, because it's now such a strong way of colouring hair. I'm going to do all them. I have triangle face and face shapes and stuff. So, but on a short head, I'm just picking up celebrities at the moment, because it's kind of easier to just use pictures sometimes. But this is for me a perfect example of somebody with short hair. And when you know, if they have short hair and you did it like a platinum card, you know, you do. Yeah, I think the hair colours changed so much. I think the products are going to catch up really quite quickly now. I think you're going to see amazing products. I don't want to go into too much right now, but let me just tell you, The whispers I'm hearing, there's some amazing products coming very, very, very soon, very, very quickly. So don't you worry about it. There's the best people in the world working on it for you. So you can see here, you would take this approach. This would be like a platinum card, Michelle, like you said. So you'll be doing all the ends. That's quite okay, Elizabeth. You'll be doing all the ends all over. Fanula, you enjoyed my Dublin class, did you? Yeah, it was good. So you can see that this is like a platinum card all over. So you're basically doing all the ends of the hair. You know, you're bleaching up all the ends of the hair, and then afterwards you're doing a melt, and you're doing a darker melt on the root, and then doing a lighter one out. I mean, this one here you could say it was like 797 out into 916, say. So it's popped off with you, Nicola. I love when you get an aha moment. It's a great feeling when you get an aha moment. But for short hair, I think platinum cards are the way to go. You know, is to try to do them. This kind of thing is the way to go. Hiya, John. And then you can see her hair when she's done and bleached it all up. This is when she's done and she's taken away her root shadow. And you can see how bad it looks on her. She just doesn't look like herself at all. You know, so when you take away her root completely and you give her a full look, how bland she can become. And her makeup is really good here. Her eyebrows, her eye colour, green brown, and her lipstick is terrific. She probably could do with a bit more shadow here. Danny's a great technician. You know what I mean? Johnny's a great technician. But you can see here that now if you were to put a root melt in that, see like this, you put a root melt in that, and you see by just giving it that slightly root melt, you bring her face back into play, you know, and it just gives you that shadow, and then you can see all the texture in the hair, and you can see everything there. So you can see how important it is to root somebody's hair a lot of the time, you know. And as you can see from all these colours, there isn't an ash colour that we have looked at tonight, is there? There isn't really. I have some round faces here. Let me have a look. Here. I mean, oval faces are the perfect to do for me. But a root shadow. So let me see who's next. Okay. I love this girl's colour, and I love the fact that she changes her makeup for every time she gets her colour done. So I love this girl's hair colour, and I love this girl's makeup. I love her skin, you know. So you can see how beautiful her skin is. You can see how it melts into her hair colour. That's okay, Trudy, no problem. You can see how beautiful that is melting into her skin tone. I've got an oval with 5 chins. You've got a beautiful face, Sophie. You have a beautiful face. I love your cheekbones. I'd actually love to colour your hair, Sophie. I'd love to colour your hair. You know. I absolutely love I love her skin tone. And she is the one girl, Blake is the one girl that can wear gold. You know, that she can wear gold. You know, I'm always slagging off gold to a certain extent. But this girl can wear gold like nobody's business. I mean, she can wear copper, she can wear red, she can wear oranges, but by God, can she wear the gold. She can wear a gold better than anyone I know. So, but she's always smart that when she changes her hair colour, she changes her makeup. I'd love you to get your... Sophie, one day I'll do your hair and we'll do a live on it, and we'll ask lots of very inappropriate questions, and we'll go live, and we'll both have our careers ruined, and it'll be brilliant, you know? So you can see here, she's rosed up her cheeks a little bit here, and she's gone for the gold that I'm talking about. Okay, so you can see that it's a little bit more, you can see the golds are it's a little bit more sort of beigey gold. And, well, you know, I don't know, like, I don't know, I think she has a beautiful, she's not as hot as you, Sophie, okay? She hasn't got what you've got, babes, okay? She hasn't got what you've got. She's got lovely hair, she's got lovely skin, she's got lovely blue eyes. Yes, we won't take that away from her. But babes, she's not in your league, okay? Not in your league, right? But this is her wearing golds, and she's after, you can see her, she's after pinking up her makeup, and oh God, can she wear a peach, Alison. I love gold on her, I really love gold on her. You can see here where she's gone now into the peach, you know, and that she has just reddened out her skin tone. And it's just perfection the way they've worked in with her skin tone. Slight face frame, nothing major. Again, you can see the brightest sections tend to be, we're going back to what we were talking about before. You can see that the brighter sections are from here to here. So they're all about her face. So the brightest section is to bring, so your eye goes to here, okay? Your eye doesn't go to here, and it doesn't go to here. It goes to here, okay? It looks kind of random, doesn't it? But it's not random, okay? There's nothing random, okay? That's called highlighting the face. And good colorists that are able to do this without even being asked are booked out forever, okay? You can do this type of stuff without even having to talk about it. You can just highlight somebody's face because you know that this is the area. And then when they're getting a blow dry, they go, I don't know why, but it just looks nicer than it ever looks before. You can say, well, I've actually worked your face shape and I've worked your eyes over the top. My eye went to her boob. But that's you, Karen. That's you. I didn't even look at her boob, and I'm the type that does, you know, that way. But here she is as a copper, you know. Now, I know it is really warm. I'm more drawn toward inappropriate. There's a few yous on, Sharon. You and Karen, drawn to her old, I won't say. But here she is as a copper, and this is one of the toughest colours to wear. And they've done the highlights really quite high. A bit too high for me, because it's bringing her forehead into play, and it's making her skin look a little bit pasty. But she can still wear it. She can still wear a copper. Like, you know, you could see her rocking out on her bangers. That awful. Did you actually say that? Did you? Well, I'm glad you said it though. That awful dress in her bangers. Yeah, okay. It's the picture on the top. Okay. Yeah, say what you want, Karen. You know, you're a boob girl. That's what you are. We found that out now. But, you know, this is a really tough colour to wear. I don't like the way they have. Again, you can see they've taken from here that it's all symmetrically the same colour all over, which isn't a good thing, you know, because you should be working the face shape. Now, I don't know if it's because a big braid in there is taking out the blonde or what it is, but it's not great. But she can still rock a copper. She can still rock a copper like nobody's business. Okay. Now here she is as a gold, okay? Now my eyes, yeah, well, as you can imagine. But here she is as a gold, okay? This is, so like, you can tell me whether you think I'm right or not, you know what I mean? But this is her as a gold. Look at her as a gold, okay? So she's just a golden blonde. Look, it's bordering on yellow in certain sections. And you can see that the brightest areas are always from her eyebrow down, right down towards her mouth and into her cheekbone, and centered the top. And you can see she is looking absolutely stunning there, and it just melts into her skin. I've never seen a girl who can rock a gold so beautifully as this, you know what I mean? She just is beautiful, you know. She can rock it so lovely, so it's so gorgeous on her. I just think, she's looking really, 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 it's just so amazing on her skin. So it's amazing what colours can do when you have their skin right. Here she is as a copper again, and I love her copper. Like, it's beautiful copper again, but she always, see the way she changes her makeup to suit it. So I don't know if she rocks it or she just is really good with makeup, you know? Because she always changes her makeup. She goes more pink, she goes less pink, she goes more blonde. She rocks between a gold, a copper, a peach, a blonde. There's one thing she never is, and that's ash. Not with that skin. Because if she was ash with that skin, it would just age her. Can you imagine an ash on her? Imagine ash on her. This addiction to ash, I mean, has to stop, you know. And this is her gone darker. So I don't know if you'll all like this, because like, it's an interesting one. So this is one that she went darker, okay? And she went for a full-on red copper. Now, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. You know, to me, she just looks like everybody else. You know, it doesn't work for me. It's a beautiful hair color. It's beautifully done. It's absolutely stunning from root to point, and there's the perfect amount of dimension in it. It's gorgeous. Her makeup is really good with a little bit of pink lip. Everything's really good. It's really fresh and dewy. So her makeup is really good. So you can't say it's the makeup. It just doesn't work on her darker. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work on her darker. So, isn't it amazing? This shows you what you can do with your consultations. This shows you what... And here's another one of somebody who was darker and then went blonder, you know? Now she lost her light. I agree with you. This one's darker and she went lighter, okay? I think it's Emma Stone, isn't that her name? I'm not quite sure. So you can see here as a copper, I mean, the copper is not great. There should be more highlights in and around her cheekbone, around her lips. They should be face framing it and just offsetting her chin. And certainly the brighter areas should be below. But you can see here that she's gone blonde. And the only thing you can see on the other picture is the lipstick. Her eyes have disappeared. You can slightly see a cheekbone. And the makeup is really good. Yeah, isn't it, Emma? Okay, the makeup is really good. But it just doesn't work on her. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work. Now, if she had a shadow root in there, I feel that might be we might be able to sell that if we had a shadow root and sort of ovalated it out there. And then we sort of had more of a 916 that would blend into her skin tone, and that might work. You know, so again, I think she could probably rock a blonde, but it needs to have a darker root so that you don't lose her face. And then it needs to have some type of technique. And I think this needs to be the focal point, her cheekbone. So I think this bright bit needs to be brought down. And see, if I put my finger over that, it looks a lot better, doesn't it? So if I put my finger over that, so if that was all darker, we're onto something here. And then if this had more tone in it, and if this was the focal point here, if the hair was just a little bit longer, you know, Cheryl, your gas. You know, so that you start to see that visually what you can create. And there's all this, like, people are like, oh, I'm not a visual artist and I can't see things. But, you know, if you're with the right people, you can... Hi, good morning from Australia, Sherry. How are you? We've been busy. Hi, Marie Callan. How are you? One of Ireland's greatest hair cutters there, and definitely one of Ireland's greatest educators, Maria Callan. An absolute genius. So again, we'll go back to that. Okay, so if this client came in to you and she wanted to stay blonde, how can we save that? Well, let's put let's not think about ash, because I mean it doesn't suit her ash, does it? So let's a 797. I can't see working on that either. It's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a difficult. Get some highlights. That's all it takes. Get some. Okay. Okay, maybe 881 on the root as a root shadow, and brought right out so that our forehead isn't in play, and then bring it into 997 or 916. And if you see, if I put my finger over that and we take all those lines away, and then make the focal point here, but from her eyebrow to her cheekbone, and then have the brightest sections coming in here, it could actually work, you know. But because the highlights are all the way right up to the root, you know, it's just so bland. It just looks really bad on her, you know. Or go, like, I just don't know. She's got such fair skin. It's a difficult one. I can't see the 9.7s on her. I can see the 1.6s on her. I can see the 8.81s on her. I can see the 9.7 on the ends, but that root needs to come down a bit, you know. I think a 7 would be too dark for her. I don't think she's that dark naturally, you know. So they were asking about face shapes there before and stuff like that. So diamond shaped faces, which are like this, which are bronze, maybe a bronze, I don't know. You know, I think the important thing there is the technique, that if you break the lines and take all the lines away and work with the focal point of her face shape, which is the eyebrow and the cheekbone, if you bring that into play and you take all those lines out of it and you take all that, you could be onto something there. So it shows you how important technique is, and how important it is to work the focal points, and how important it is to look at the face shape. Now, so like pyramids like the small lips and the wide cheekbones, like Cara Della Mare. Obviously, the best places to work there are the eyebrow and the cheekbone, because they give you that type of shape. Oval faces, like a lot of people with oval faces. But you know what, Tracy? I'm not brilliant at seeing whether their faces are big or not either. But I look for the focal points. So I think if you just look for the focal points, Tracy, you'll be fine. Don't try and analyse it too much. Just look. You're very good at focal points. Heart shape, yeah, I'm going to do heart shape. You have to be careful with a heart shape because if you put a fringe on a heart shape, it can look really bad. I've seen them over the years, some scary heart-shaped ones. But this is my favourite face shape. It's the wide cheekbones with the small lips. A lot of people like really big lips on girls, so I like the little Russian sort of face shapes. I like Cara Del Mar's face. I like that slightly smaller lips into a wider cheekbone. Slightly Russian doll kind of look. You'll see a lot of the models have that. Little small mouths. And then wide cheekbones, and I love to work colour all through there on those face shapes. They're my favourite face shapes to work on. I'll put up some actual clients I have who have those face shapes. I'm lucky to have quite a few who have. Again, you tend to attract your own in life. And they're my favourite to work on. They're the triangles. So then the long face, again, we were talking about that earlier. The two things to watch out for on the long faces can be, are diamond and heart the same? No, hearts are much more different. They're much more foreheady. You're much better with a centre parting with a heart shape, and it goes in like that. And you're much better to have a centre parting. As I say, I'm no expert here. Okay, I'm just giving you my opinion. So I don't know people go, oh, he was talking through his hat there. This is just my opinion. I'm not a hair cutter. I'm a hair colorist, but this is the way I would like a 70s fringe with those type of things, slightly grown out and shaggy haircut, and then for all the colour to be working around here on a heart shape. But a full fringe or something can really be very hard to pull it back from. You know what I mean? So from a heart shape, that's good. From a long face, you've got to watch out for the chin. As Jane said very, very truthfully there earlier, you can really make it, if the balayage is too low down, you can make it all about their chin, and if it's too high up, you can make it all about the forehead. So the things to look out for, and those ones are here, 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 and here. So you have to be very careful here, and you have to be very careful here. And if you explain that to a client, she'll most likely get it. Oval faces can handle everything. You can handle highlights to the root. What's a widow's peak? Widow's peak. A heavy centre parting would be my favourite on a heart shape. I mean, you could go for a heavy side parting and keep it darker. Because again, we're talking sort of colour, and keep it darker, and that would work. But I wouldn't want the focal point to be here. I'd want the focal point to be here. So, I mean, I would want it to come to here so that the colour will work here. Boom, across here. So, if I had a side fringe, I would want to be coming to about here. What about chubby faces? Man, again, there's always a focal point. Then you can work the lips. That's a good question, actually, Sharon. That's a good question. You can, and I could crack into so many jokes there, Sharon, but I won't, because I'm a professional. I am a professional, even though I'm not a professional. There's always focal points you can work with. There's always it, or you can just make it about their skin. Ask them for a friend. You're so funny, Sharon. It's so funny. So, hearts shapes for me, centre partings, I think are the nicest on them. Are the nicest on them. Long face, watch out for the chin, watch out for the forehead. As I say, diamond faces, triangle faces are all about the temples, all about here. And they're beautiful to colour. They're really, really beautiful to colour. You have to be careful with triangles as well if you put a fringe in them, because then the fringe comes to here and they're all out here, and then there's this fringe here and then they're out here. So, sweep and fringe. Thank you, Alison. Thank you, babes. That's exactly. And a big heavy one I think looks really, really good on that widow's peaks. That dips into the centre of the forehead. I mean, Anne-Marie, that's so specific. I the way I say, and everybody's, we put up a picture later. Put up a picture later. Widow's peak. I'm not sure what a widow's peak is. See, is it when the hair jumps? Is it? I have a widow's peak. Is it that? I'm not sure, but I'll keep going, because we can put a picture up later up on the page, and we'll all have a look and help you with it. So we're just going into the basic triangle is here. Be careful with fringes on them, because you can make their focal points here where it should be here. You've got to watch out for the chin. You've got to watch out for the chin. You've got to watch out for the forehead. The oval face, you can do nearly everything on. You know, you can do highlights right in. You can basically do nearly everything on a focal point. And a triangle and a square face can be quite chinny as well. You're a pro in my eyes. I do my best, Michelle, for you. I do my best for you. You know, I feel like I've been on hours already. Have I? Have I been on, like, I haven't even gone into other stories or anything yet. I think today is just being completely about face shapes, but that's good. I won't go. Okay, let me see. Where are we at here now? Where are we at? So triangular face, which is my favourite. Boom. Be careful with the fringes, because this is the area that you want to. Square, they can be very chinny, but so you'd have to be careful with bobs. Widow's Peak, like Wednesday and no, I still don't. I don't know what a Widow's Peak is. There you go. Oval faces can handle nearly everything, you know. So again, look for the focal points. Look for the focal points. You can do be careful up here, because you can just bring somebody's eye to up here. You often see it with a fringe. You know, you often see, I mean, I'm no expert on haircutting. Marie Callan, who's on here, I should get her sitting beside me here, because that woman is an expert. She teaches in the Tony and Guy Academy in Dublin, and I couldn't speak highly enough of her. She's an absolute gem at cutting hair, and would explain this way better than I am. But here I am, I'm the one in the chair, and I have to do my best, and I hope it's okay. So be careful with those type of things, with bobs, if they're all chin, that type of stuff. But you could, for just hair colour, for just keeping it basics, you have to be careful from here to here. You can you can start your brightness from here, and you can be full on from here. You're not going to affect how somebody, all the hair here is what's going to open up their face. Okay, so these are the areas that can open up their face. Hi Sylvie, well, I love to you. These are the areas that can open up their face, is everywhere here. And you have to think about where you want to bring your eyes to. Do you want to bring your eyes to her lips? Do you want to bring your eyes to her cheekbone? Do you want to bring it to her arch of her temples? Do you want to bring it to her eyes? What sort of tone am I going to do that's going to work with her eyes? And you can make somebody really quite bright here, like Giselle is, like we looked at. She's really bright here, and it doesn't affect how she looks, okay? But if you were to put the brightest highlights right up here, the first thing you'd look at is here. You'll often see it with fringes where it looks like they've no hair, they've no volume back there because of their face shape, because of that type of thing. So it's the same type of thing with colour, that sometimes if you keep somebody slightly darker here and then you bring it out here, your eye is going to go to here, which will be their face. So these are the areas that you really need to look at and you really need to work at. And if you explain that to clients, they do tend to get it. They do tend to understand it. We just really need to work on this stuff ourselves in our own minds. We need to be really, really able to analyse and to look at this. And it doesn't have to be really heavy, because there's only a couple of focal points. There's the eyebrow, the eye, the cheekbone, the nose, the top lip, the bottom lip, the chin, neck, chest. These are the things that you need to look at. And if you look at any picture tomorrow in Vogue, Elle, It, Image, You, any of the magazines, you'll start to notice, okay, so they started here. Sarah Jessica Parker, eyebrow. Giselle, eyebrow or cheekbone. Cameron Diaz always has the brightest parts around her lips. We looked at all their models there with a shadow root. If you go too light with somebody all over, you can take their face completely away. So a shadow root can just be about opening, about just bringing a cheekbone back into play. If you put loads of highlights here in this area here, you have to travel so far from here to here with the lightness that you can take their cheekbone out of play, and they can just look so bland. You know what I mean? They can just, and a client will get it. They will understand it. They may not like it. They may not like what you have to say about it, and they may try a few different people, but they'll end up back in your chair forever, because they'll understand that you understand what makes them look better and what is their focal points. Is it the lips? Is it the cheekbone? Is it the eyebrow? I see so many girls now who have got just amazing eyebrows. They got these amazing eyebrows done, and they have like really good contouring, and then their hair colour is no good. They've got highlights right to the root of their hair, and my eye is going right to here, and they have these amazing eyebrows where the colour should start right in their eyebrow, and then I'd be like, boom, into the blonde, into their colour. And I'm just going, the hair colour is all wrong for their focal points, which is the eyebrow, which is their top lip, which is the bottom lip, which is their cheekbone. So just look for the focal points if you're not sure about the face shapes. It is a really good question, about face shapes. My particular favourite is a triangular face shape, and the easiest one to work on. Do you agree? Light expands and dark contracts. It depends on the eye colour, Martha. It's a really good question. But like that picture we saw of Claire Foyle, I mean, I think I'll get that back up. If you have fair skin and you have blue eyes, you know, that if you darken it down and you just, you know, if you do it right, you know, like such a perfect example, like if you look at Claire Foyle here and you look by going lighter and look at the effect it has on her face, and you can see how much is pinked it up and how aging it is on her, you know, here, and then you can see here the blueness of her eyes, and she's gone for a darker. That would be a 502 in Illumina, one of my favourite colours of all time. 502 in Illumina, which just sort of nulls down any sort of over red tones, and it makes our blue eyes pop. It's very hard to put a brunette, to get a brunette and a blue-eyed girl right. It can be very, very difficult, you know, because if there's too much red in it, it can take from the blue eyes, you know. Very good question yet again, Martha. Very good question. I couldn't do this without all you guys on. I can't thank you enough for being here on a Sunday. I would hate to do this sitting here just trying to talk to myself. I mean, it'd just be so boring. And you wouldn't be getting any feedback, so I wouldn't be knowing if I was doing any good. But you can see that the perfect colours for a blue-eyed, fair-haired girl is dark and cool. Dark and cool. And that's the only ash we looked at today. So, I mean, of all these pictures we looked at today, okay, there isn't one of those pictures there that is an ash, okay? Of all the pictures that we looked at of these clients' hair, there's Rob there, look. All of them, there's not one of them that's an ash, okay? There's not one of them walking around with blue hair or with black roots and with grey ends, okay? So, like, you know, if you can spend this week on the bus, okay? I get the bus. I love to get the bus to work. It gives me time to spend time with you guys in the morning. But if during the week you are on the bus, if you can see somebody with the perfect sort of dark root shadow and has the perfect grey white hair, and it isn't in bits and it isn't yellow and it's still on her head, can you use colour to contour a face shape to make their face look more oval? Absolutely you can, Angela. And the fact that you asked that question makes me think that you already know how to do that. You just feel you don't have the confidence to do it. But 100% you can. You can contour anybody's face shape with hair colour. You can just look for their vocal points. And they can only be a few places. I mean, like, you know, they can only, like, so what colour is their skin? What's their vocal points? What are you trying to bring out? I mean, you know, but just this week, guys, look around in your local city or your local village or wherever you live and see if you can see somebody with like blue grey ash kind of colour with black roots, okay? And for it to be perfectly done like the pictures you see on Instagram or you see out there, because these are inspirational pictures that are done that there's, you know, so much time spent on creating these looks. Hi from LA, how's it going? I'm glad you're enjoying the show, Gina. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. You know that most famous colours, you've just shown some of the most famous colours in the world. Like, yes, these are what the clients would want to be. I always say, would you like a Jennifer, you know? Would you like a face frame? Would you like a Sarah Jessica Parker? Would you like a Blake, you know? We have to see Blake as a gold again. I'm sorry, but oh my God, if anyone can rock a gold, it's Blake. She can rock a gold like nobody's business. But there's nobody with this hair colour, okay? These are pictures that are done on Instagram, and they're done as inspirational pictures. They're pieces of art, and they're beautiful, and they're done by people like hair models or by, you know, and then there's a bit of this and a bit of filtering going on, and there's a bit of stuff going on. They're aspirational hair colours. They're like pieces of art, but they're not for everyday wear. They're not for everyday use. And they're not designed for a client to go home, wash her hair, and to be able to mind them, you know, and they've olive skin. So some of those blue eyes, but olive skin. Bring the colour on the top of their eye. I don't want to press the phone because I can't see more. But Blue eyes and olive skin. I love the 9/7s on them. I love the 7/3s. I love. I don't love the 1/6s. I'm gonna. That's a good question, Trace. I'm gonna think a lot about that. That's a good question. And when we're in Canaries, I think we'll do when we're going live. You, me, and Nick. We'll do something about different types of skin and stuff like that, and about how we like things, because I like where you like lightness around the face, done like a child, and I really love the way. I really agree with the way you see it, and it sort of conflicts the way I see colour at times. But you will often pick out a picture of a kid who's 8 or 9 years of age, and they'd have lightness in unusual areas on the face and would really, really work. You know, like a child's hair, sometimes these old areas can be light and it really works. I don't know if it works on an adult's face. Would the same be for hair extensions? I don't know, to be honest with you, Sharon. I'd be the wrong person, but Tracy might be able to ask you. That there's interest in, but I think with a fully formed face, I think it's a different thing. But I do like a lot of I like visually what you see. I visually what you see, I see as well. And I was talking once with the very famous Tracy Cunningham about this, and she loves lightness all the way around the front of the face. She will do small baby lights all the way around the front of the face, so that when you tie it back, and then what she does is she puts a melt over it, so she just melts out the real lines of it, but yet it's really bright around the front of her face. And it's not how I would ash makes most people look older, Gina. It's not how I would work. And she came out with that classic line, "But you're a man, Andrew." And I was like, I know, sorry. You know, but I love her work. I'm a big fan. You know what I mean? So there's no to say that what I'm saying is all I'm saying is this is my take on it. This is how I see it. And to be honest with you, this is how a lot of people see things, because it's half them. But as I said, spend a day walking around your city. If you see anyone with black roots and grey white ends and their hair is perfectly conditioned and it's in a braid like you see on Instagram, or you see just on these pictures anywhere, if you see somebody like that, take a picture of it for me and show me, you know, because I just don't see them in Dublin. I see yellow ones, and I see hair that's broken to bits, and I see badly toned, and I see hair that's very dry, you know. So if these kind of looks are a bit more aspirational, and if what every client wants is actually this colour, you know, these if this is what is reality, well, I think we should be working a little bit more from reality, because I mean, I don't know about you, but that's kind of stunning to me, you know. And if that was Ash, I don't think she'd look half the girl she looks, you know what I mean? I just think I think we have to have the confidence in ourselves to work with what hair colour really is, which is about the underlying pigmentation of the person wearing it. It's about their skin tone, it's about their eye colour, it's about highlighting the face shape, it's about bringing out the focal points, it's about opening up their face, and it's not just about like bleaching someone to a level 10 and making them ash blonde. There's an awful lot more to hair than that. There's an awful lot of artistry. I mean, you know, to see how well, how brilliant Jennifer's face frame has been done, you know, all through her life, and now we'll find a picture of her that she's just started her new show. So this is her now this year, and look at that beautiful face frame, and she's gone darker down, and her tan is a little bit darker, but not a lot, and you can see how beautiful it's done, and you can see how her hair is so bland there, you know, that it's just bringing out her forehead. Now it's not the best picture of her really there, because she's a terrific actress. I love her too, and she's a really good actor, and it's a great show. It's a hi Alexa, it's a great show. So guys, I mean, this has been such an immense, and thanks so much for so many of these amazing questions tonight. That the other stuff that I was going to talk about, I will probably leave for another. Would you like me to go to tell you a story and something now, or would you like me to finish up, because we've been on for an hour and a half nearly, you know what I mean? So I mean, it's really up to you guys. You know, I can tell you a few stories about. I can do them another time. You know what I mean? I think it's probably enough, but I you know. I tell you, I'll just go into one thing, because I think this is kind of important. Okay, it's kind of important. You know, if you're gonna do something, with your life, if you're gonna do something, and if you ask somebody's opinion, okay, Sharon, if you ask somebody's opinion on something, and it's great to get people's opinions. You know, if you're going to do something, it does feel like seconds. It was a really quick one. A song now, you haven't sang all night. You know what's in my mind tonight, Alison, is is last Christmas is in my mind again tonight. Even though my kids haven't mentioned Christmas once because they're addicted to I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. They're just watching that every night and they're absolutely addicted to it. But this is just important because it was a really, really good friend of mine, and one of my top stylists is leaving the salon, John, who I'll really miss. He's one of the greatest sassoon hair cutters, and he's a total gentleman, and he's so wise, he's so intelligent. He's emigrating to Australia, and over the years, myself and John have talked about nearly everything, and it's hard to give people I don't give people a lot of opinions about how I I'm not going to sing it, Jess. It's just that line is in my head, carrying it maybe next year. Hi Salas. I try to not give too much opinions. I try to just give like the to's and fro's for this because, it's a great thing that John's going because it's what it is. Everybody gets to want what they want in this world. Everybody gets to like what they like in this world, and I would like him to stay and work beside me for the rest of his life. But he has other dreams, and it's very important that he fulfills them. And for me to be able to understand that and to want the best for him is absolutely how I must feel no matter what, and then I'd be open to receiving something new. But if I'm not, I won't be, because I'll be like, people leave, this is what happens in life. And then life, what happens, guys, if you focus on that in life will then give it to you. So you have to be open to understand that everybody has the right to want what they want, and everybody has the right to want what they want and to try and go and get it. You know what I mean? Everybody deserves that, to want what they want to go and get. But if you share your vision or if you share your dreams with somebody and somebody tells you it's wrong, okay? Somebody says, no, that's not going to work out for you, you're too old to do this. Or somebody tells you, no, Andrew, you couldn't become, you couldn't be doing the internet, at your age in your 50s, from your bedroom. Nobody will watch, If you were to listen to people, okay, everybody has their veil, You can have a job, Alison, of course you can. Everybody can have, I'd prefer to come to you though, maybe. No, I wouldn't actually. I don't know if I'd like to live in the sun all year round, but everybody has a veil of their life. They have what they've experienced in their lives, what they've got life with. Everybody's got life. Everybody's had bad times, bad relationships, and, good jobs and bad jobs, but they've all got life, and everybody has their own opinion. So everybody's giving you an opinion about what you should do based on their life, not based on your life, So it's very important that if you ask somebody's opinion, to really deep down, to listen to what your head says and what your heart tells you to do, and not to be, it's very good to get opinions and to listen to somebody and to not take it personal if somebody gives you an opinion on something, but it's their opinion. It isn't right or wrong. So it's very important that you get to want what you want in this life and to dream really high and to dream the biggest dreams you can and do your best to achieve them. And I was thinking about this a lot this week because, you can give people a million reasons why something won't work out, and you'll give people a million reasons why it will work out. But really, at the end of the day, it's down to that person. And I do think we can get swayed very easily by other people's doubts, or that we can it can sway us and we can start to see the negative instead of seeing the positive. Or because we all get lives, if we all change and go to different countries, or anybody on here, I've lived in different countries, you'll go through it no matter what. Life will give you adversity, and you have to step up to it, so you don't really listen to somebody's opinions so much that it sways you. I think it's very, 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 very important that that you keep your own counsel, and that you listen to other people's opinions, and that inside, if you believe you can do something, you can do it. Because if I had said to people, I'd be going live on a Sunday and thousands of people would be watching it every week, how many people would have told me, that's going to work out for you, Andrew? I mean, you're an alpha, you know what I mean? You're an alpha and you're nearly retired. And I didn't look for people's opinions. I just did it. You know what I mean? I just did it. I didn't look for people's opinions. And then when people are still giving me opinions why it doesn't work, even though it does. And people are still telling me why They'll give you a million reasons of why things are there the way they are, but that doesn't make them real. That's just their opinion, okay? And it's very important to listen to your heart and to listen to your head. And your head sort of assimilates it, and your heart will go bing, and then you should just into action. Heart makes it all up. The heart believes in it, and the body makes it happen. And that's the three ways to work. It is very hard to blow opinions off, Martha. You're so true. But remember what I said here. That's just the veil of their life. We're all wearing our own sunglasses of the life we led. And we all have our stories. This happened to me, and this was what makes me the way I am. And it's not necessarily true. It's just that's their experience of life, but it isn't necessarily yours. And to understand that little baby steps. I mean, for you guys, you wouldn't remember this, but I went live in Bangkok for 3 or 4 minutes for the first time last Easter, okay? And then I went live again that Sunday in the morning. And they were just for a couple of minutes, but they were the baby steps, okay? And they were little baby steps that I just put my foot in the little water and thought, maybe I could do this, and put my foot back out, and maybe I could do this. And that I had, even my own wife was saying to me, you're crazy, this won't work. And little baby steps, and we're here tonight, okay? So if you just... Do you remember it, Tracy? Yeah, I mean, that was the beginning. That's when I walked out. I walked out and got some lunch that night. I was just showing you downtown Bangkok, and I thought, I remember that was the beginning of. Hiya, Greg. I hope the party's going well. That was the beginning of this. Do you know what I mean? And that was the beginning of this. And it's little baby steps that create progress, and every little, people are always saying, there has to be big steps, it has to be big bounds. It doesn't. You can only do the steps that you can do, and we've all been lifed. We've all had lifed. We've all been lifed, and we're all doing the best we can. And if you just take little baby steps and get confidence in little baby steps, in no time, you'll be able to do bigger things. And to ask for people's opinion, particularly people you respect and you judge, but to understand that it is just an opinion. It isn't reality, it's their reality. And everybody's reality is their own. Everybody has their own reality. You'll see it in families where you have two brothers and they have completely different experiences of life, One's a superstar and the other one can be down and out. And look, it's just down. And don't yell at baby. Yeah, we don't yell at babies when they fall down. That's a really good point. Just little baby steps, and to understand that it's really cool to ask for people's opinions, but if you're going to be swayed by them, then don't ask them at all. You know what I mean? To just listen to your head, and if your heart and your head align, then create it with your hands. Then go, because I want to go my head told me that this is something I could do, and my heart said it's something I would really enjoy. But then I still had to press the live button. You understand? I still had to do something. And so many people in life, they have an idea in their head, and then their heart aligns, and then they step back and they just wait for it to happen. And it doesn't work that way. You only get what you give, And until I pressed the live button on the phone and went live, it wasn't real. And to remember that about stuff too, that, when your head and your heart aligns, then try to do something about it. Exactly, Karen. Exactly. Thank you, Sharon. I'm so glad you did. Now, I got a lot of help from a friend of mine at the time, who gave me a lot of tips and told me I could do this. So I was very lucky that I had somebody who I asked an opinion of, and they said that I would be that this would be something that I would be really good at, and told me to just be myself. But that's just one thing that we'll finish on tonight. That people's opinions are their opinions, and they don't mean wrong by them. It's just their understanding of life, and they'd be like, oh no, I'd never do that. And this happened to me when I was that age and it didn't work out for me. But that's them. That's not you. So enjoy, listen to other people's opinions, but always follow your heart, and always, trust what's going on in yourself. Okay, that's just one thing. And the rest of the stuff we can keep for next week. The rest of the stuff. So I tonight was pretty amazing, wasn't it? I think we'll actually do a little bit more on face shapes and bone structure, and I'll pick out, I'll start picking out celebrities that I really like, and we'll look at their hair over the years. You know, always be yourself. This is true, Alison. You can only be yourself. I'll start looking at different celebrities that we get asked for behind the chair. I mean, I can just think of them right now. Cindy Crawford, Jennifer Lopez. You know, there's so many out there, and we could look at their hairs over the years, and we could and you know, you'll start to see that it's not that hard to be a visual artist. You know, it's it's not that hard to be a visual artist. You can just find pieces on their face shape. So have a look at these pictures, and again, understand that if you don't see something in your environment, on your bus and on your street every day of the week, it's most likely not real. And for a lot of those hair colours that people are looking at, they're just not real. Okay, they're not real. They're not based on reality. Round and square faces. Well, oval faces are round and you can put everything on them. Square faces, okay, I will do round and square faces again, Marta. My wife is actually really quite a square face, so I will work on that one there too. I missed. Hi, Teresa. So great to talk to you all tonight. The best of luck to everybody at the BHAs. I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures going live tomorrow. It's such a wonderful event. It's such a wonderful night. I won't lie to you, my heart's with Robert, even though you know, Errol Douglas is a gentleman and he's never won it as well. There's a lot of, and fatties, you're so funny. It's a wonderful award. I mean, it's the home of haircutting, and the best of luck for everyone up for the British Hairdressing Awards tomorrow. We applaud you for just actually having the courage to take the baby steps to enter and to go ahead and to do it. And these guys, I mean, have worked so hard, and particularly for my good man Robert, best of luck tomorrow, and for Colin, and for everybody in the Wella family who's nominated, and everybody who isn't in the Wella family is nominated. So the Wella family is an open door. Everybody's welcome here. We like to keep it classy. Okay, my guys, have a great week. Yeah, and I'll talk to you during the week, and there's a lot of really good stuff there that we'll do probably next week. I really enjoyed tonight, and I think we've started to open up something that's going to be a big part of the Sunday service going forward, looking at celebrity hair and looking at face shapes and bone structure and skin tone. And again, how inspirational is Blake Lively? And she's never had a drop of ash in her life, but then again, she's got that most amazing skin tone, hasn't she? Keeping it real, Alison. Love you all, guys. Have a great night. Keep posting on the page. Susan, lovely to see you. Keep posting your pictures, keep putting stuff up, keep helping each other. You're absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of everybody on the page. It's great to be here as part of the community, and yes, just fantastic, and so looking forward to seeing the BHAs tomorrow. Wish I was going, I really do, especially with Rob there, but I'll be there in spirit, and I'll talk to you soon. Alison, great, I hope everything's good. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Terry. Thanks everybody for staying on and for keeping me company and for the brilliant questions. Tracy, brilliant. I'm going to look at pictures actually, Trace, because I you've got a really good visual eye. That's it, guys. God bless. Night out. Take it easy. Take it easy. Share and be good to each other, okay? Love you all. See you soon. See you on the other side. God bless. Bye.